president sat down with the heads of Target and Walmart and other big box stores, and they were like, hey, man, I just want to let you know, in 2 weeks, we are going to be out of shit. Like, you are going to see empty. And all of a sudden, and then the bond market went crazy, and treasuries, the dollar is weakening. Treasuries aren't being bought up as much as the safe haven. And all of a sudden today, Donald Trump said, I'm thinking actually, all these people are kissing my ass to make deals. I'm thinking I'm just going to drop the tariffs to like 40%, 50%. I don't know. You know what? China has to make a deal. So why not just drop all the tariffs? Because they have to. And I'm wondering, will this be the moment that finally they go, oh, the man behind the curtain isn't brilliant, doesn't have the answers, or will there be just another reality distortion kind of moment for them?
John, I mean, again, you know far more about the US, but from the European international perspective, we are in a real existential crisis here. I mean, for the first time in 70 or 80 years, Europeans are asking themselves, maybe we need to be closer to China than the US. I mean, it's mad, right? There is no moral equivalence between China and even Donald Trump's
I just
US.
can't see that being an option. I just can't.
And yet, it's happening. And China, basically, China had one objective over the last 20 years, which is to break the link between the US and its allies.
As did Russia, same thing.
Absolutely. And you can see Xi Jinping, the Chinese premier, has been touring around Southeast Asia. Usually doesn't say anything, but the last week he's been saying, I'm going to be your reliable ally. You can see op-eds appearing in the Chinese newspapers about how Europe needs to reach out to China. We're going to get great offers on Chinese electric vehicles, which is going to make a lot of sense to us because they'll be very cheap and it will help us in the energy transition. And poor people in Europe are struggling to afford electric vehicles, which we're forcing them to buy. So all this is happening, right? And it's completely bewildering. So we're praying that the world is going to right itself. We're praying that the old United States that we used to know is coming back. And that in the end, the institutions of the United States, the midterms, and of course, sadly, in the middle of this, it's a really sad thing. People are slightly thinking, well, I kind of hope he screws up the global economy because that might finally destroy him. People are thinking, well, the one thing Hitler didn't do is screw up the economy. He was quite good at creating jobs.
Well, that's the authoritarian bargain. The authoritarian bargain. You can disappear the unpopular. You can get rid of the immigrants and the trans and the thing, but the trains